Hello, I'm Elizabeth Livy Wilson, and I'm Internship Coordinator here at Sewanee, the University of the South in Sewanee, Tennessee, in the United States. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about internships and how to find them and how to apply for them. First of all, internships are short-term experiences like jobs that enable you to learn and get some experience in a particular area. And they're ideal if you want to test drive a career before you actually commit to it. So we encourage all of our students to try internships every summer if they can in order to test different ones to see if they like it and to gain experience in those fields as well.
All right, Ms. Wilson, how does a student go about finding an internship?
Okay, the best way to find an internship is through your friends and family. If you know of somebody who is doing something that you are very interested in, I would go ahead and contact them and ask them if they would be interested in having you as an intern for the summer or for whatever period of time you would like to ask them for. And in exchange for free labor, they will hopefully give you some very meaningful work. And you don't want to have an easy internship. You want to get an internship that really stretches you and makes you learn new things so you can find out as much as you can.
All right, and what resources are available during the search process?
Okay, well, you also want to talk to, if you have a university or a college that has a career center, you'll definitely want to talk to them and find out what kind of resources they subscribe to that you may use. I would also recommend that you look at organizations that you really believe in and are passionate about. So think about products that you really believe in or organizations whose mission you really believe in, and go directly to their website and check out their careers webpage, or they may even have a formal internship program that you can apply for. Go directly to them and apply.
And what are employers looking for in an intern?
Okay, employers are looking for people who are dependable and curious and hardworking and appreciative and go above and beyond what they're asked to do. They are people who are always there, always asking for more, coming early and staying late.
And what should the students then look for in an internship opportunity?
They should look for meaningful work. Meaningful work is the most important thing, because if you end up doing everyday, what we call grunt work, which is making copies and making coffee and doing things like that, then you really won't get a taste of what this career field is all about. So our hope is that you'll get hard, meaningful work that will stretch you and enable you to learn as much as you can about that job.
And what can students hope to gain from the internship?
Okay, well, you can hope to gain a lot of good experience. It's just as important to learn what you don't want to do as it is to learn what you do want to do. So I would dive in and I would find out everything that you can. And you can hope to gain some new skills. You can hope to gain new experiences that you can then put on your resume or your CV. You can also learn all kinds of things about and the working environment, about office dynamics, office politics, and just about how to manage a job for the first time.
And do internships usually lead to full-time jobs?
They do. A lot of times they do. We don't have statistics from the latest recession, but before the recession, before 2008, statistics showed that 75% of students who had an internship were actually granted or were offered a job after their internship, which is a really wonderful statistic.
Wow. And how do visa restrictions apply to internationals searching for internships? Okay,
that's a great question. That's really important. Many internships are for U.S. citizens only. However, if you're a student, you have an F1 visa, you'll want to check with your, if you have a campus coordinator who works with international students, you'll want to check with them first. But if you're an F1 holder, you can find some internships as long as they mesh well with the major that you've chosen. But you'll need to do some research to make sure that you can work with a visa as an intern.
What should be the first step of an international when they're on the campus and looking for an internship?
Okay, if you're an international student, you'll want to first go to your career center, and you'll want to talk with the career advisor and find out what opportunities are available to you. So you can find out if there are any particular assessments that you can take, and these assessments can help you figure out what occupations you may be interested, what your personality preferences are, and other such good information in deciding what you might want to do. They can also help you find internships, and also many career centers subscribe to specialized tools that could be helpful for you in your internship research, as well as for international students in particular. We have a lot of international students who come to our office. They're very motivated to do all kinds of things, and so we really encourage students to do that.
All right. Do you have any tips for resumes, cover letters, or interviews?
Okay, if you're an undergraduate, it's ideal for you to have a one-page resume. And in other countries, they're often referred to as CVs, and that's fine too. Here in the United States, we refer to CVs as more academic and research-oriented resumes. So what that means for us is that a CV here is a resume that includes academic publications, academic projects, and other research projects. So I'm going to refer to resumes because that's what we call them in the United States. So it needs to be one page is ideal. It needs to be preferably have your education as your top heading, and then possibly experience as a second heading and activities as a third heading. We highly recommend that on the first bullet, that you use bullets, and on the first bulleted point that you put your primary responsibilities. So write what you did, begin every single sentence with an action verb such as managed, collaborated, those type of words. We call those action power words. Start each of your bullets with one of those words, and then elaborate on what you did the most of. On your next bulleted points, we would recommend that you talk about the results that you got, what you accomplished, how you made a difference during that work. So, for example, anyone can do a particular job, but what you want to say is how well you did and how you made a difference. That will make your resume stand apart from everybody else's. And also, if you need to, you may want to have what we call a targeted resume. And that is to make your resume focused on the kind of industry or occupation that you would like to get an internship in. So for example, if you want to get to look at a medical internship, you'll want to create your internship so it's targeted so that all the things that are medical and science oriented are pushed up toward the top of your resume. So you could even change your experience heading to medical or health related experience. So all the most important things you want the person who's going to be reading your resume to see, you want to push them toward the top. And that's what we call a targeted resume.
And how are cover letters?
Okay, cover letters, well, resumes tell what you've accomplished, what you've done. Your cover letter is your chance to talk about your passion, about why you want this job with this company or organization. So it's your chance to one, say how you found out about the job, and if somebody told you or someone referred you to this job, you'll want to put that in the first sentence. You'll want to say, so-and-so, dear Mr. or Mrs. Smith, colon, I learned about your internship from John Smith because he was an intern for you last summer and said it was one of the most profoundly helpful experiences he's ever had. So you'll want to start off with connecting you to the person you're writing to, if you can. Even if you say that I saw it on your internship opportunity on a website, that still establishes a connection of how you found out about that, which is very interesting to many employers. So then also you'll want to talk about why you want this internship. You'll want to talk about what you value about this particular organization and why you think you're a good fit for it. Really focus on what you can do for the organization as opposed to what it can do for you.
And finally, interviews. Do you have any tips for that?
Well, if you have an interview in person and an interview over the phone, those are two different things. Let's focus on the phone one first because this is very common for internships. If you have an interview on the phone, I highly recommend that you have your resume in front of you and you have information about the company in front of you as well. I recommend that you dress professionally because a lot of times the way that you dress will be reflected in your voice. Also, I would recommend that you have a mirror and you talk to a mirror so that you can make sure that you're smiling and that you're engaged, because all that nonverbal will come through your voice, believe it or not. And I highly recommend that you make sure that you finish your sentences. It's very tempting to want to kind of go on and on. It's hard to know when to stop, but make sure that you listen to the question, answer it, and stop, and don't fear silence.
And finally, how should a student follow up after applying for the internship?
Oh, I forgot. We didn't go about the in-person interview. I just remembered. Is that okay? Maybe we go to that.
Yeah, go on.
Okay, all right. Okay, and next for the in-person interview. So when you walk into an interview, be sure that you're dressed professionally, and there are many excellent resources on the website to help you to know what to do for that. Have a firm handshake, smile, sit up straight, and as you walk in, express your appreciation for them to be interviewing you, and be well prepared. There are, again, excellent resources on the internet, and I would encourage you to print them out and to actually write down the answers to all the questions so that you'll really be ready. Have examples for every question so that if they ask you, when was the last time you had to lead someone through a difficult time, make sure that you have that experience fleshed out in your mind so that you can tell the story effectively to them. So preparation is very important for that. And when you're done with the interview, as soon as possible, write a handwritten thank you note, if possible, and deliver it to them, even that later on that day or even the next morning. But within 24 hours, try to get that to them. And if you have forgotten something or during the interview that you want to add, feel free to add it then. Otherwise, just express your appreciation and tell them how much you want this job. It'll really make a difference. And if it's a phone interview, be sure and email promptly and let them know as well.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Wilson.
You're welcome.